Testing. Hello.
Hello.
How goes it? Let's see. I think I have to accept you guys into the rodeo thing or something or other. Let's see.
Also, I'm not actually upset over the whole entire Gargura leaving. I've just. This is a thing that happened now.
About that, but I definitely can see why you would be fucking upset if it's the only English speaking. Unless you speak another language, it's harder to keep track of.
Well, she's not the only one. There are several others, but she's the most popular.
Yeah, she's the only good one. Oh, that's a different thing. You could be popular without being good.
She's not my favorite, but she is the most popular one.
Animated armor. That's you guys done. In Albert Rodeo.
No, I input my name as Gaston.
I think it changed you to animated armor. Can you check? Does it say Gaston? Oh, you are right there. Weird. I don't see you though on the other side. I see animated. Who's animated armor? Which one of you guys is animated armor? Is it Shio? Is it
animated
armor? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even see that one on the screen.
Okay, I'm tripping. Let me refresh then. I don't know. I could see it if I click on the other thing, but yeah, I'm not seeing Gaston
I don't
in the
see
players.
Animated armor.
Check, watch here. I'm gonna drop a screenshot just so you guys know I'm not crazy.
The fist one is Gaston.
No, I get that. That's me. I put those. Those aren't you guys logged in. I mean, like, who's logged into the thing? Watch.
Oh, with the funky names.
Yeah. It doesn't match my left side, even though it shows guest on there.
Yeah, no. If you've accepted me into the room, then why am I not entering the room?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
Yeah, just tell me you're a narc.
I'm gonna refresh.
I'm gonna kick animated.
Okay, now I'm in the room.
You're a narc, bro. Who's animated armor? Just tell me you're a narc.
Alright, Shio. Wanna be God, got it. Shio God. Maybe it was Seg. I don't know. It was somebody for sure.
It was definitely Seg. He just kicked Seg.
Yeah, he better come back in.
Seg's still loading up.
Yeah. It was his. He's secretly animated armor.
I imagine El Tigre is wet.
No way. No way.
Hello.
Hi, what is?
You animated armor?
He's like, huh? What? Who?
But do you have copies of our character sheets that you can give us to us?
Absolutely not. You guys are gonna have to use D&D Beyond and or hope you guys have something to work off of. Everything I'm using is my brain, so we're all in the same boat.
Then I can't participate because I do not have an up-to-date copy of Gaston.
You can participate, just work off what you know. I mean, that's all. We were all level 20. You guys are all very capable, and I'll know if you can or can't at the end of the day.
Or punish us heavily.
I do not have any backup copies, but that's a good thing to put out. Yeah, to be fair, maintenance was not supposed to happen, so they did like a whole super last second notice, 1,500 hour. It's only supposed to be an hour, and then things went wrong. They always do. So here we are in Elbow Rodeo. Yes. So I don't think I give you guys any control over your characters or anything here. I believe you guys just can drag each other's, or you choose your own when you logged in. I'm not quite sure how it works, to be 100% honest, but common sense, your name is where you are. If you right click, it turns your mouse into a pointer. You have to press and hold it to use the feature. So yeah, that's how that works. Zoom is scroll. I really don't know what else or how else this works. I did put the little toggles to add like dice and crap. I think it only appears when we do initiative and such things. So we'll all be winging it, and yeah, enjoy it. At least the maps work, and general placement, could be worse. So with such, you guys last technically left off at the excavation, still speaking to Runt, who was the solo remembrance or echo left there, telling you guys about all the failures and all the things that had happened before. Leaving off with Gaston, questioning whether or not they and Shio are significant figures or individuals that may or may not have died one too many times. And then he inquired about one of his previous passings. If you had a chance to look at the little handout, a mention was in there. Otherwise, cryptic as ever, does not remember. Beyond such, there was very little left there to discover. Heading back, you guys are here, back at the grand table, marked with the layman termed Netherese runic markings, locking in the moments presented before you. There's only one left to visit, and that is the pit. We all understand the calling seems to be hurting toward your one and only Shio. What reasons are a little outside its reach, but we can only gander and guess. For the most part, all decisions have been made. Go ahead.
No, we were. I don't think we were actually done where we were.
You guys are just talking to Runt at that period.
Yeah, because we haven't finished that one because it wasn't released to the parallels, right? I thought that's what it was.
No, it wasn't. We were aiming to basically. Okay. I thought that one was loot was in there, and we were trying to get them. We were trying to basically get Rosie separated from there, or whatever was happening.
You guys were learning about Rosie and her origination and her existence, but she was not physically present at that time. But let me load in the map.
Okay.
I'll there rodeo for you real fast.
And we thought it was loot, but it was something worse. It was a fully actualized WEP.
Yeah, in which WEP embraced. WEP is already aware of the things that have been enabled, we'll say. You guys can see the map, right? I don't think anything's hidden. Okay, cool. So yeah, it was something like this. And you guys, I'm just gonna drop this.
Okay, because I remember last session saying there was still stuff to do here.
You guys went through the last tent, and then Runt was here telling you guys about all the failures and the things you guys had witnessed. And yes, you guys were realizing that this is an entire. Now, I guess this wasn't immediately grasped, but every tent you guys went into, there was one constant casting member, and almost everything else in the scene so far has been pointing to one member, and that was WEP. So this was all realizing WEP's role in the entire setup of what is known as the Dragon's Guard and your guys' originated setup, and how you guys were not accidentally placed here. Everything might have felt like a crazy whirlwind of a blender moment and your life just taking you by the horns, but really Iz and WEP went across every parallel, hand plucking the best outcomes and the best possible candidates to fight this battle that they technically didn't lose. They just been hiding the victory from those who could still win, and which has now kind of come to a more full realization now. But go ahead.
So if I recall going into every tent except this one. How do I ping?
You just right click on it. It's not really a ping.
Yeah,
it's like a highlighter. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that's because Runt interrupted you guys and was talking to you guys about how everything always ended in failure. But if you guys wish to, you may tap into the last tent.
I do want to know, and maybe it's too meta, but is there a piece of coal here? Like, just a single piece?
Oh, you mean in the campfire?
Yeah, like an untouched piece of coal.
Unburnt?
Yeah, unburnt.
Give me an investigation check.
Onto the tent, like the drunk guy at the festival.
Doesn't nothing happens.
It doesn't go down? Can I roll?
It doesn't go down. You fall right through the tent. The tent is a projection of existence here.
15.
A 15. You look in and you see upon the floor, soot in the ground around it, that this fire has never been put on. In fact, all the coals are clean. What's interesting is what they're buried around. Inside the little TP look of the coal pyramid is a small folded jumble of what looks to be notes. Normally, one would use more of a straw-like fluffer to catch the fire. These large papers couldn't possibly work. You reach forward as you push the coals aside, and you notice that the coals react to you. Unlike WEP, who is now leaning or laying amongst the area of a tent where only the bottom half of him is exposed like an odd magic trick.
I'll light these embers all day.
With such, you pick up these folded papers, and they all kind of have faded markings. What I mean by that, it's as if so many people have reused the paper. You can see multiple thoughts, multiple outlined queries, and multiple moments. Like 100 people have passed this paper around and left their indents ever slow mockingly upon one another.
Oh.
You see the last entry saying, "We chose to fail. But did they?" Question.
Huh. It's kind of like reading Iz's book. It gives me that kind of slight headache with all the words jumbled, impressions. Have you been trying to burn your book?
Might be muted is.
Yeah, it was. No, my book can't burn. That would have consequences.
What kind of consequences?
When he says
Uh,
consequences, I want to do air quotations behind him.
Okay.
See, he understands. I point back to him.
Every single time he says, yeah, consequences, I just want to do air quotes.
I don't know, but I'm sure it's bad.
Okay, so these probably shouldn't be burned.
It accidentally disconnected me because I was trying to sign in thinking that I could actually just
Oh, jump back in. Yeah, I don't
sign
know
in
how
the
it works,
count.
yeah. Oh, you're good. Boom, boom, boom. So, with that, Gaston, you stick your head into the last tent.
Yeah.
As you do, it's almost as if it were a whoops. It's almost as if it were a scene that leaves more curiosities than it does clarifications. You aren't on the school campus grounds. You aren't inside of a tower. In fact, you are inside some kind of putrid pulsing mechanism, living type vehicle of sorts. You see rows and rows and rows of what looks like internal glands and pools of just gestations. Whatever is meant to appear here is not present or is not yet born, whatever it would be immediately. You hear a voice, feminine in nature, speaking down the hall, and then you hear a more male voice or a bold, broad. You don't see any shadows, and they don't speak your tongue. And then you see something moving along the surface of one of the pools. You don't even know where you immediately stand in this room, as you don't see your figurative space of yourself. But what you see rise from that pool almost looks like it has this beak, and then feathers molting off of it. Someone very familiar to you rises from the pool, almost as if presented here. Seg steps out of the pool confused, as the talents at the ground. Kind of clearing their air cocker and like throat in their own manners. It doesn't seem as if they either choose to speak or have the tongue to do so. They look around. They hiss. They reveal no fangs. Whatever version of Sag this is, they are not a vampire.
Aw, man, it's one of the lame me's, guys.
Down the hall, you see two shadows approach. Neither of them break into a visual scene, but whatever they see from their aspect shocks them. Seg seems to calm down and then fall unconscious.
Okay.
Not again.
I'm not gonna lie.
Do I need to make him a new body?
I don't want to drink the other him.
You see as the shadows do not approach, but two small brain-like quadpod species with fangs and tongues protruding from their brain-like appendages.
Oh, maybe we should get flamethrowers and just burn it.
Approach
Pass
the
the
other
map to Sag.
Seg.
Their brain.
One of them gets its mouth and its tongue comes out, and it almost has that of like a predator sense with another mini set of teeth on it, and it does like a little cookie cutter cut on them.
Maybe we
Their
should
seg,
save
not our
him.
seg, right?
They stare into
Wait,
the
their seg,
seg.
right?
Say it again?
Their seg, not our seg, right?
Yeah, their seg, yeah. You see their seg lying there with the cookie cutter hole popped. Both of the creatures look. The other one headbutts the other out of the way. They both headbutt each other. They shrug and walk away. What do
Oh,
you all
apparently
do?
you don't taste good.
No brains.
Listen, I just have a smaller cranium. That doesn't mean I'm any stupider than you guys. I graduated.
He did
So did this
graduate.
walnut.
He's got you there.
As he says, I graduated. Everyone give me an insight check. I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Wait, me too.
Oh wait, I can't roll. All right, I keep hitting the button.
30-20.
You know, it's a good thing I have a plus 20 to these rolls now.
16.
Careful now. He can see all of our D&D Beyond rolls.
So the character I'm using, like the version of Gaston I'm using, is the monk version of Gaston, which I don't think is in the campaign on the D&D Beyond. So
That sounds about right.
I don't know why, but I think is being intimidating right now.
Oh, I clicked the intimidate instead of insight. But I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna intimidate reality.
Into telling you what it is.
I've broken you once. I'll do it again.
You and reality have an abusive relationship.
Oh, shit. None of us know where to roll dice, huh? I don't know where to roll dice. Oh, wait, I clicked the dice. There we go. I found the dice tray. But now, how do you guys roll dice?
wait, there's actually dice we can roll in this thing.
Apparently,
On,
up left
Oh, I
hand
found
side
it.
is a thing called dice.
I found it. Okay, so I'll use this to determine her roll instead.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead. Perfect. Oh, cool. That shows.
Okay,
Oh,
that's much better.
Not bad.
26.
Okay, cool. What about the rest of you guys?
I got a... Hold on, where did it go?
I'm trying to get back to that.
Dirty
page
20.
where I had the numbers.
Yeah, I wrote in here.
How do I get back to that page? You guys did the same thing I did. How did you get there?
Next to the anvil, you'll see a... not a launch game, but a game log, and it'll pop open the log chat for how our roles in D&D Beyond.
Ooh, thank you. Got it.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
you
a
guys are on
12.
D&D. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Got it. 12. One sec. Anyone get higher than a 17? Other than Gaston, right? Gaston got 20 something.
I did.
Okay.
I got a 20.
Okay. Seg,
I wasn't sure. Oh, yeah, 23 then.
23. Okay, so you three. You see the two brain-like creatures waltz off. They head over by the pool and they lean over. They headbutt each other again, and one of them, almost imaginarily so, would be licking their lips if they had them. And then they start walking off. As they do, the three of you guys that rolled high enough look around the chamber and realize something very significant. This is a much bigger version of them. On the inside, you are. So whatever happened to that seg most likely dissolved their brain, and they were just making sure there was nothing left. Something is feeding off of the knowledge of others.
Question is this
Someone
an
cast
echo?
Synaptic Static.
Hold on. Let's start that with, what about Synaptic Static Shield? You mentioned it multiple times.
Oh. They're giant brains, right? I imagine if someone casts Synaptic
They're like-
Static on them, they'd just die.
As big as your boot, but yeah, sure. Is that what you're trying to do?
No,
They're walking
I'm
off.
not-
They're not guarding anything. They're just trailing on.
I'm kind of observing them. These are past failures, and I kind of want to learn from them.
And then Gaston?
Gaston was about to say, is this an echo of something that has happened? Or is this an echo of the future?
It's a good question. How would you be able to tell?
Now that we're like defined as chaotic, we're gonna eat one. I have to eat one. I have to try it.
The brain?
Yeah. Maybe I get.
Imagine that's
smarter.
how you end up
Who
with a
knows?
tadpole in your head.
I'm pretty sure that if a parasite tries to get in, it'll die first.
We'll cook it
I
first.
mean, I'm curious if you can even interact, like, with what you just went through. I'm curious if you can actually interact with the Echo and change it at all.
Yeah, go do
I'm just
something.
gonna change it into
You're right. I should go make it a vampire like it ought to be.
No, not you.
I mean, I can bring you back to life.
I'd like to try changing this into food.
You go after the brain thing. I'm going to see if I can bring you back.
Okay,
If I attack
so
with fire, do I even have to cook it?
that all depends. Not all fires heated equally.
How many fires do I have to use for it to be cooked?
You wouldn't know.
We're just gonna spam it with fires.
What, the little brains?
Yeah.
Okay, and you just randomly
echo
just
things.
spit, like, just pew, fire at it.
No. I
Okay.
want to throw 2d4s to know how many times I'm throwing fire.
Okay, so throw 2d4s. Let's see how many. Wait, I'm so confused. Do your call out, roll your rolls, and let's see where you end up.
I summoned 5
I'm
of
going to
these.
reincarnate
We're
the
all throwing
body.
fire at it.
Oh, okay, got it. You lean down. Can you describe how it looks for everyone else, because no one else is aware of such things? It's just visual flair at this point,
Drop
but
a
it does
little
super cool
coffee
stuff.
bean, and then fucking 5 of me sprout out.
As he leans over and drops a little coffee bean, you just see these almost glitch-like parallels. All these webs, they all have a little difference, spot the difference about them. But in the end, they're all still him. And they all reach out with their arms in a very confident manner and just and how many would that be simultaneously? Web?
That would be 6 altogether.
You guys see 6 webs appear. Or 5, really.
But they would be weaker because we talked about that.
Yeah. So what do you have them do? Like which attack?
We're all throwing fire. We're all throwing
Is
fireball.
it fire bolts? Got it. Okay.
Not even fireball. What's it called? Conjure fire, whatever.
Conjure flames.
Produce flame.
Or produce them, yeah, whatever. You got it. Okay. Like a bunch of brothers of a sorority or whatever those are called, begins to do a group event. You see that they all light their torch, and they all put their arm back like any good baseball player and throw. Go ahead and give me attack rolls.
Yeah, it says I don't have it here. I don't even know how to roll it.
Maybe your spell attack modifier, realistically. Oh, or is it a dex save? Is it a dex save? Do you guys know? Produce flames.
I think it's spell attack. I think if I just don't make the DC, then it misses.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was you throwing it too. I could be wrong, but produce flame. That's it.
It'd probably be a spell attack modifier instead of anything else.
Which should still be very clear on your D&D Beyond if you go to your spell section. Yes, it's you targeting the subject.
Just throwing a whole bunch. Two more.
Just call him out for me.
Uh, 12, 23, 29, 31, 12.
3 hit.
Oh wait, I have one more. And then not so pretty.
Got it. Beautiful. All right, I got the game log now, so I can see it too.
or 4?
Oh, sorry, 4. On that last one being a 20. 4. Alrighty, see you. Did you only do what was the custom for?
Which custom?
I don't know. It says you rolled a custom D20 for 14.
Where? Oh,
It's the last roll.
I don't know.
And then you did a custom roll 8.
And I don't know.
Well, I just okay, whatever. As long as I'm not missing anything, we're good. Cool. Right. You just see a barrage. That poor brain is gone. It's flown off the map, just decimated, scourged. Where a mark should be, there isn't one, as if an admin used the vapor gun and vaped it away. The other one doesn't even notice. It just keeps walking.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, I admire his indifference.
Dude, does anyone know how to read these fucking logs?
I'm gonna try reincarnating the dead person. The dead saying, not saying.
You're gonna reincarnate the other dead seg?
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Reincarnate. Does it have a conditional feature? Like, does it need to be?
I think this one I can just bring him back, but it's just gonna be in a random body. I think. Let
I
me
think
pull
the
up the spell.
custom was the additional bludgeoning.
It's replaced by a new race. Okay.
All right, I'm pulling it up now. One sec. You touch a dead humanoid or a piece of a dead humanoid, provided the creature has been dead no longer than 10 days. Spell forms a new adult body for it and causes the soul to enter that body. If the target soul isn't free or willing to do so, just like any others. And a new body, you roll on a D100, and it chooses a race for him.
All right. Go ahead and give me a D10.
Dragon?
Technically, yeah, I guess. It's not listed on there, but there's nothing saying you can't.
Choo choo choo.
Looks to me,
choo,
I
Alright, I'm
was-
trying to roll these.
choo.
There it goes. So, 29?
Dragonborn, I'd say. Dragonborn. Okay. You see multiple parallels, kind of like a choose your body, and it's like flipping through parallels instead of character prompts. It's legit background scenes and everything changing as if you guys are playing Rappel's MMORPG, and you get this kind of breakdown as you fall across the Dragonborn. You're like, oh, that one. Boop. You click it, and you see just an entire reconstruction of this Aarakocra, now Dragonborn. Whoa. Oh, wow. I think I have something in my throat. He moves his hand up to his throat and he's like, oh. My grip is so strong.
Oh, you were
He looks at his
almost a
hand.
dragon.
Oh. Whoa. Impressive. What has happened to my former, weaker counterpart body? And what are you? Some small god of a dragon? Meant to be like a fairy in Spyro's journey?
I'm gonna look insulted at him. Me?
Yeah, he's talking
God.
about a great game.
Please. He's the god. I point at Shia.
Hi.
That looks to be a mere child with blonde hair and a clueless mind.
Right?
I'm only 19 years old and I'm saving reality.
I do not see such occurring, but I'll trust your words. What is that? Seg? He questions as he looks upon it. Very dapper, piratey, lich version of himself.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm just
punch
you,
him in the
but from the
face.
cooler universe.
I want to see if he explodes.
Or you never.
Tell him Year of the Dragon was a great game.
You. I did not understand it. I was offered as a subject of knowledge to these nautiloids who passed by, only to realize too late that they meant to consume my mind, not the knowledge I offered them.
Yeah, I don't deal with them. Every time I've ever done anything with them, they betray me. Every time.
They just look way too shootable.
I know, right? I give them a chance and they mess up.
They mentioned at one point in a great past they had crashed and you all granted them help. I assume it must be your kind. Perhaps you'll remember Noshilia.
Oh, Shelia. I look at everybody.
I'll blow the horn. I'll finally blow the horn after all this time.
You blow the horn? How loud do you intend to blow this horn?
As hard as I fucking can, because I know we're probably in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Do you want to enlighten your teammate Gaston what this horn is intended to do?
It was literally just, she gave me a horn. She's like, if you ever need me, just fucking blow the fucking horn and I'll be there.
Yep, beautiful. All right. Entire
I feel like I
tentacle
blow so hard,
strum.
like tentacles coming out of the fucking
Yeah,
camera.
basically, it's kind of like a floppy mess of just stuff happening with that horn.
Did you have to do that
The
right
question is,
next to
why
me?
that, okay.
Massive. There's in the air, shadows appears. Let me see if I can doodle something. This is not planned. All right. It's like part of it, and then it's like just crazy little tentacles in the air.
Seriously, that was fucking. What the fuck is that?
Massive in the sky shadow of a nautiloid
I got Ophelia, all right?
appears.
Got a
Is and the rest of the team recognize this as Oshelia's father's once crashed living vessel. That the good old Oracle was so nice to pardon. With it,
Man,
as it arrives.
I remember
Yeah.
the day I almost took that ship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you remember? We were so excited. We flew up in there.
Uh-huh. I don't know what I'm doing.
I remember its security systems attacking us.
No, you guys got
No.
attacked because you didn't follow us.
Very true. The pirates walked through like a cakewalk. Everyone else had a hard time. You guys
So-
see a beam. Now imagine this is still in the vision. Not presently here. I'm just trying to give you a map generalization here. You see what looks to be a small kind of purplish orb float down, and it just kind of inflates would be the right word, I guess, in different formations once you start hearing words speak out. Oh, well, this is quite interesting. I was certain that you all died at some point when I left you all behind.
Oh,
Right,
dying's
what's going on
really
here?
inconvenient.
You see a little bubble just inflating itself as it's speaking to you, but with no eyes, mouth, or anything, just like a little mic free floating. It looks like you've had a few additions. The bird looks tasty. Ah, why does it look like you are already inside that in which is mine? She takes in the scene.
We're trying to bolster our forces.
You're breaking the rules. She looks over at Webb. She looks at the Oracle. Or you feel the visage of them. I thought we mentioned something about not traversing such parallels and reintroducing us to our previous discoveries. That's a war crime.
I haven't had time to read all my books, and besides, I do it anyway.
I knew we met for reasons. This is why my father said it was good to stick around, join your adventures, learn your problems. I have no problems or quarrels with you. The Phyrexians are not an issue for my kind, and nor do we have an issue with them. Though when the one pops up, it's always fun to fight for a little bit. How can I help you? You all seem stuck, almost as if you're in that Raven's Matrix. Yes, that's why you blew
Actually,
the
I called you
horn.
here to talk to your friend over here.
Oh,
Judge us.
this
Frank.
corpse.
I guess
You
I
brought
got
it back. As a dragon. Oh, did you try to make it your complexion? Is this
Oh
that
no! I
bird
just
that
pulled
we
a random body
consumed?
from the collection.
Oh, wonderful. You realize that this pool you're witnessing is the time in which we made a deal, and you all gave yourselves up for us to win the war for you. It worked. We took all the information you all experienced into that very pool, and we fought your war. Used your names, showed your faces, and then left Strixhaven in a happier place. Too bad that didn't work in the end, because somebody had to go and mess it up.
I've won a lot of times. It's how you win sometimes.
I'm utterly confused. What's going on?
Oh, so I've traded past and futures to win the war before, and it never really works out.
Well, yeah, you win the war, you don't solve the problem.
I know because someone made these inevitable. I glare at Shio.
And then
Trust me,
Gaston,
I mean,
a
at
little
this-
more. Oshelia arrived when her father's Nataloid crashed, and they found the ship.
Hmm.
They could have totally avoided it, and they didn't. Instead, they fed
I don't
into it
know
even
why
further.
is
They
I mean,
instead
got
of
caught
solving the problem, you became the problem.
doing what they were doing, and instead offered that the daughter could stick around and be a student on the school. The daughter learned all the trade secrets and became close friends, or fast friends, we'll say, with these. What were they at the time? Like challengers or something like that? Champions, yeah, champions, yeah. And she learned their secrets, their trade, and then went back to father. Gave such information, and then deals were reached. They are an advanced species that live from the battlefields. They know the four and other names in other ways. They know the Concordian Annex and many others. They kind of showed is in them that there's a bigger playing field out there, and the threats they're facing are just mere issues that they've faced many times before on their very behalf. So
Cool.
she's now here
Gaston
yet again.
doesn't know.
So
Gaston doesn't know any of that.
now you do. Imagine it all kind of flooded in
Okay.
as you're in this echo. All of their misconceptions that never reached or never were vocalized are now flooding out.
Okay. Oh, so you know about the four. Then you know that the Phyrexians aren't the actual problem.
Which is why we fought them for you guys before. I don't quite understand why that was a problem, and why we changed the results. The Four didn't need to know about WEP or IS and their secrets, yet it's as if they forced their plane on the field of our chess game and ruined our tactics. Completely bonkers, but here we are yet again facing a problem we've squandered many times. This time, though, someone else is holding the key. Have you all figured that out yet?
Yeah, it's Runt, right? Who has the key to this echo?
Not necessarily this
What?
echo. The key to the Phyrexians is what she was
Oh,
referring.
do you know where I left my keys?
So you don't have it yet.
I just need one last piece.
I last recall that the one remaining was that. What was that hamster breeder called? The one with the darker
Yeah.
plume. Sure, it sounded more like a unbiased male-female like name that no one ever knew what they were. Did we ever discover that? Did anyone check under the ruffles?
They were like invisible 90% of the time. We never got the opportunity to sneak up on them.
Fascinating. Truly fascinating species.
I know they drop like a bitch, though.
That's quite intriguing. I do wish to hear more about that, as I don't recall seeing that in the previous mind we've consumed. So what can I do to get you all out of here? You may ride the vessel into the battlefield. That will take you right out of whatever implant you're stuck in. Just understand that when I bring you back, you will be facing whatever truths you left behind.
Oh no.
I feel like
Did we need help? I thought you. I look over her. Why did we call her?
The horn was a SOS signal. I did tell him to blow it if he ever needed me.
Why did you summon her, Web?
because Lizard Me mentioned her.
Yes, in which I have made very clear this is just one of you all in which we had consumed from previous parallels of your failures for us to learn how to win against the Phyrexians our own.
So you don't mind if I turn him into a vampire?
I have already got his brain and his thoughts. You only have a soul.
As
Does
long
he
as
have
they finish how it
wings?
works.
This is just a dragonborn. You completely tarnished his flying capabilities.
I'm gonna have to tinker with you. I need to add the wings back on. I can't have you not fly.
Shio
I
leans
don't
into
have wings
you,
anymore.
Sag.
You see the dragonborn Sag kind of pat his arm, and he's still taking in his body like, fuck.
Take it
Yeah,
from
give
someone
me a
who
sec.
he tinkered with previously. Run! You'll forget your parents.
No, I built you. I'm only adding wings.
Yeah, but you know you can't help yourself. You'll go to add wings, then you'll see that there's some Tarask jaws lying around, and you're like, ooh, why don't I add that?
Yeah,
then it
would you
Find
like
the
your
becomes
infinite
Tarask.
power
What
and
part of the
immortality?
Tarask are we talking about exactly?
like the jawbone.
That would be wicked. Imagine just walking around like a bulldozing jawbone.
You're so right.
Well,
That would be.
we'll have to cut it down to size.
No. The
It's
entirety
stand
must
for
be
that
kept.
immediately.
I would be needed at all times of the year.
How about I just give you a polymorph form so you can turn into a full Trask?
That's also cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna open up a gate. Go ahead and step through. This will bring you to my lab assistants. And they'll prep
Is that a secretary? It's like, come on in.
She's like licking her beak.
As
Don't
he
worry,
walks
she's
on
a
through.
master of her craft. She can take out an eyeball in like 1 second flat, but a new one in.
This
Wait,
would be
is
interesting.
before you steal him, do you think I could do the thing that AZEREP did to me? Whatever that lich guy's name was.
I need to add the wings first.
Oh, okay.
But he can come right back.
Oh, we'll get to it. We get to it. I
He
want
goes
some
in.
dead underlings.
He vanishes for surgery. He will be back later as he goes on to the night.
Augmentation.
Didn't you guys ever see Repo Man, the genetic opera? It's a super
No.
quirky. Oh my god, it is so. I just love the tone. It is so corny.
I just know all of the memes from it.
Yeah, like oh, it's just so funny. I just love this
It
shit.
is.
Oh my god, Xander and all that. Oh, it's too good. Anyways, beyond that, yeah, he goes to experience what Seg once experienced in another lifeline. Beyond such, in this now tent, there is nothing left for you all. However, you guys are still left with Oshilia present. You guys now have a anchor breaking into your guys' echo sequence, bringing you an option, a separate way back into the core parallel timeline. Do you guys take the quick route out, or do you complete your purpose here? What do you choose to do? Because when she leaves, she leaves. She won't come back to the next horn call just willy-nilly.
Nah, I stay.
We're staying. We still need to take care of the pet.
I got a basement to
Yeah.
clear out.
We'll
I
come
have
back.
no idea what any of that means. Just understand, the next time you blow, I'll be checking in a little more at a distance before using such resources. You do understand that there are wars happening in the battlefields.
Oh, I know. I'm fighting it all the time.
By the way, where you were currently from, what is the current dates?
Well, we don't have dates in the battlefields. Defeats the purpose of the travel, as if you go west, you go back in time. You go east, you go forward in time. You go north, you go parallel with time. And if you go south, you coexist with time. And if you ever get stuck in the middle, you could cease to exist.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what time it is outside the Matrix. Like, how long have we
We do
actually
not
been in
have such
here?
senses in the battlefields. Our species just cycles. We also do not die
Fair
unless
enough.
killed with intent. But on Strixhaven, you guys are in the, I believe, 1807.
Well, let's finish up this echo and then go deal with cleaning out my basement. It's been there too long.
I just want to know how much time I actually have left.
Time only applies if we ask.
You feel sweat.
The more you think about time, the more time starts to affect you.
There's a haunting over your shoulder. Unfortunately, yeah, time at this moment eludes you. There is no accurate form of telling at this time, at this moment. With such, you guys, with Ophelia leaving, ta-da! See you later. Don't call me right away.
Bye, Shelia. Have fun at the
I'm
war.
glad the shell works. I totally won't use it again.
She takes off, and knowing so, you guys all
Oh, God, I should have fixed that.
Runt looks at you guys, not disappointed, but still present, as you guys all get popped out of the tent. I told you all that everything here is just about what someone had to do to force everything else to happen. You know, a whole catalog of what happenstances. Everything here will always just be the next thing that did have to happen. At least for whatever they had to do to make it happen.
Everyone's familiar with like SpongeBob when he gets like the conch call. I'm totally not gonna abuse this.
We'll see. He then goes, but I guess you're almost there. You've been to the Dragon's Cradle, right? He looks at all of you. Immediately you feel this peak of, I know that place. And it whispers like a Charlie and the Factory memory. Huh? Home? You think in your own mind for a brief second before you guys are all popped back out to the grand table.
Oh man, I remembered that for a second.
What were you trying to do?
Oh, nothing. I was just complaining. I hate when you remember something and then it's gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
talk to people good. I usually leave that to Shio. I talk to animals good. I seem to have pissed off Ashelia, so
I'm
mean,
sure
you-
they'll get over it.
Imagine the power it would have taken to break into the Matrix and then break into an Echo and then break into a splinter of the Echo. Imagine how much power that took.
you imagine it.
I did, and it's a lot.
And she just did it like that. And everyone's like, nah, thanks for visiting though. That was cool of you.
I mean, we
Well,
weren't
we're
gonna
not the
go with
ones
her.
that called her, so.
I know,
I'm
I
glad
know.
my shell phone worked.
Yeah, no,
To be
he's had it
fair-
for a while. She's been a player, a wild card all this time.
To
So,
be fair, she should have expected that when Wep called.
Yeah.
You gave it
Took
to
a
me.
while.
Fuck you.
Gaston's gonna take out the tear.
All the birds stop chirping. There's no more singing. There's like a oh.
Please tell me this is another summon. I will cry.
And he's basically right now reading through the contracts.
Okay.
Um,
And what are you trying to zero in on? Like, are you referring to your Discord message earlier?
Yes.
Okay. Give
I'm
me
trying to
a
figure.
intelligence check.
I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to basically not so much do exactly what I said, because I don't think that would actually qualify for what needs to be done. I need to figure out.
Dude, just summon someone. Let's keep bucking the responsibility.
Give me intelligence.
I'm basically trying out how to solve this.
Yeah.
Yo, Iz, can
20.
you call like the secretary?
I mean, I could, but she's busy
30.
right now.
She won't be
Uh,
busy if we lose, all right?
Why would we lose? We're right
She
on
won't be
track.
busy, she'll be nothing.
You, sir, understand that as you kind of focus in on the contract and you hold your tear in the other hand, it could just be as simple as removing my name, the one who signed. The responsibility be to no one, to nothing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm aiming for.
Be the easiest route on a 20. That would still solve your problem, removing you from the bind.
That was not what I was looking for.
No, I'm just saying on a 20, that's what you could figure out from this contract. It's a very complicated contract. You can continue studying it if you wish.
I do.
As a performance to
Like-
pretend that I know what he's reading.
No, you wouldn't be able to read it since it's
No, it's a
something
performance
he
to
signed.
pretend to know.
He wouldn't even see it. You would see him like holding on to, he could be holding on to anything, and it wouldn't look like the contract to anyone else's eyes. Unless you had your blindfold on, but otherwise you wouldn't think of it off the top. But you could
That's what I'm
perform
saying.
just to
Like, I
perform.
know
Yeah,
I
you
don't
could
know
perform.
anything about it. I'm saying pretending to know that I know about it with performance.
Sure, you could do a performance. Gaston, can you give me a insight check as you continue reading between the lines?
17.
20.
You mentioned you would want a witness from the faction. Did you have one in mind, or you just wanted to be near the faction for you just hope that someone of the faction would be present during such?
I'm hoping to pretend enough to.
No, not you,
make
sir. Sorry,
him think
Gaston.
the right
The
things.
the person who offered me
To
the
you?
contracts.
You provided it to you? Okay, so you hope that their witness is acceptable enough upon your action taken.
Yes.
Okay.
Would he get like an advantage? Because I'm hoping to pretend enough to like piss him off to be like, oh yeah, that's what you're talking about.
With the 20, it would be more of a bolster of confidence kicking into Gaston feeling such, I guess, ridiculed support that still
Yeah, 1 second,
helps
tag on,
bind
nigga.
into
You
it,
don't know this? I know this.
kind of buffing them and
Above-
beefing their purpose. Go ahead. Gaston?
No, I'm
Oh.
I'm not going to say anything about this. I'm just
I'm trying to like come up with what you would be able
yes,
to
and
decipher. Go ahead. Do you have a preference
told
on what
you- I
Mhm, go
told
ahead.
you how this whole entire fucking situation feels like a fucking false Hydra. False Hydra is a fucking line. Not a veil. A line.
So yeah, we'd be fucking like, oh really? Is that your final answer? Pretending
Okay.
like we know what we're talking about.
So
This is out of
Okay.
character.
Yeah. Okay. On your 17 out of your assumed options, which one would you feel you would fall into with an understanding of better?
We need to stop. I am having a panic attack.
Everyone take a quick 5 minutes. Grab water, use the restroom, etc. real quick. Gaston, if you want to go into a private real fast.
Also, we're gonna get super sympathetic and start making him tea.
What? This is IRL.
Okay.
Okay, what is going on?
I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta go grab this. I got some Taco Bell waiting down here.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I did hear false Hydra.
I have no idea what's going on with. I have no idea.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I just want to have a good time. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what she and I were just talking about.
Yeah.
What is he confused, concerned about? Alex has offered him a bunch of ways out of his contract, but I don't know why he hasn't taken any of them.
Yeah, I thought the contract thing was on pause anyway, so.
I think it keeps moving forward just because he keeps asking. But who's excited to go to my basement and look at all the me's?
I'm actually concerned you're gonna look at the prototypes of you.
Oh no, these are all the alternate versions of me, all the ones that failed.
That's what I'm saying.
There's gonna be at least 4 crazy ones.
Just if you say so. Yeah, just that many.
I said at least. I can't be wrong.
Oh, my arm finally popped. It's been needing to do that all fucking day.
Ooh, that always feels great.
Oh, that's such a great feeling. So it's the character one that he signed way back when, so he gets support from that guy, right?
Yeah, the plane of order, I think it was, where it comes from. They're the automata.
Yeah. So I don't understand why we can't just go there and kick its ass.
I think it's at the school defending the school.
Well, that makes it easier to find. But I mean, we should have a lot of stuff to pay it off with. I don't really see what the issue is.
Yeah, I think one of the things in it is that as long as you have like an artifact to trade, they'll be fine with that.
And I have artifacts to trade. I mean, he hasn't asked.
Yeah.
Most of my artifacts I don't really give a shit about. I don't know about you.
I mean, most of the artifacts I have, I don't really want to trade, but I mean, I'd give it up for a party member.
Don't really have any really spectacular artifacts.
I mean,
Well,
the
I
only
guess
one,
I have one. But
the only one I can think of giving up like right off the bat is just like the Amulet of Pure Good.
I mean, I gave away my artifacts pretty much.
Well, you also use your artifacts like the Eye of the Oracle.
Well, that's not a. It is, but it is not separate from me. It's kind of like the book in that way.
That's fair.
I don't really got items like that. I have pretty like basic shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even have armor. I really need to get some armor, like good armor.
We have the orichalcum being forged into stuff. I imagine they can, or adamantine, not orichalcum.
Ooh, yeah,
Everyone roll me a D100.
Just base D100.
Around you guys shakes. D100 plus a number you pick between 1 through 10.
7.
3.
Plus your
I'm going gold.
D100.
What, like a 4?
41.
Okay, 41.
75.
3.5. That's the average. Let's go.
Seg.
Oh, 94 or 49.
46.
We just rotate this so it matches up to what I'm looking for.
Very nice.
It's not working.
Just get in there. You chuck a bunch, and you see this is why problems fall apart in the parallels, because Iz does his own shake the dragon. He shakes the chance. He forces an outcome.
Reality, you're going to do what I want.
As he does, there's a flicker across every single one of you. First, it hits Gio, and then it cycles north, and it hits Gaston. As it flickers over each of you, and each of you end up in a complete sitting pose, hands straight, face fixtured, almost as if you were quickly repositioned before your own very eyes. You don't feel any movement, you don't feel any forcefulness, you just find yourself now like this. And then it presents itself. An angel, winged and all. Does a highlighted beam and floats down briefly, just briefly, from above. They look real small from being, just deleted on accent. Look real small from being higher up. They call out to Shio. Oh, Shio, for your time has waited and waned. We have seen so many of you fall, and yet we only need you to kneel. Will you join us? Or must more of you continue to fail?
Spin kick.
You spin kick 45 feet out of your range.
Yeah, thrown at
Let's see.
disadvantage because I've never thrown a
Go
spin
for
kick.
it. Go for it.
I've never thrown a spin kick, but let's see how it goes.
Gaston, a flicker, glitch passes over each of you, repositioning you all into a more seated format, facing the center of the table. Wep goes to do a impromptu spin kick and absolutely
Yeah,
flies
straight
out of
up.
the chair.
Another one.
He's the only one no longer positioned properly, with his ass in the air and his face to the ground. The winged angel that's about 45 feet up calls out to Shio, commenting on how many have faltered already, and only he needs to kneel.
I don't
She
even blink as he does it, as I'm completely
bites
expecting
him.
him to do this.
What does it mean to join you?
Oh, no, dear Shio. I am just a facilitator. You'll be joining your failures. We just need to see if you are too one of them.
Ooh, you gonna let him talk to you that way? You know, you're a god wannabe. You could definitely do something about it.
What's going out? I blacked out for the past 5 minutes.
There's an angel here offering to take us to the failures that are me, to evaluate if I'm a failure too.
Superman punch. I've also never tried that. Should I
You,
do
in your
another one?
mind, think of what a Superman punch would look like, even though the term
I just jump
Superman
off the chair
doesn't
and try to
exist.
punch him in the face.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics.
If he actually looks like he's getting close, she'll use telekinesis to pull his leg down.
I don't even think you have to.
He slips again. He's like that kid in the gym that just has the perfect amount of wax at the base of their shoe and they can never keep their balance.
Well, what club did you join, Web?
Unlike Iz, who was an iron lifter, a lot of you did not get the same experience he did.
I swear, if he was an animal, this would have worked.
Well, yeah, but he's not.
You ever
I
seen
believe-
Deadpool when he's like fighting Colossus and he like breaks his hands? I imagine it's gonna be like that. All the dinosaurs fear the T-Rex.
So, Chio,
Sure, I think we're ready to go to the pit. Like, that's what she's saying, is she's gonna take us to the pit?
she's mockingly luring you ever furthermore. Come. We just need you to kneel. And then it's complete. She vanishes. You see the book opens up to the page. You see in it.
On the ground. We're gonna tell you. I don't know how much of a help I'm gonna be with you in the pit.
You guys hear an uproar, a calamity. Two different types of beings, large, giant, almost creatures, going at it. Shio, seemingly found on the base level in the arena. The rest of you, all in different parts of the crowd, different segments, your own cubbies. Not bothered. No one seems to be issued. Everyone's a watcher. Everyone's excited. You see
My
the
money's on the
angel.
wannabe god.
Everyone's like, ah! The angel here seems to be floating and hovering there about 40 feet up, and there seems to be a small veil of compression around the immediate dome that Shio stands in. Shio, your initial gut tells you that if you try to fly out, you'll be stopped. These creatures would be able to reach you from every step, yet they don't seem focused on you at this time. Going back and forth, one of them finally gets knocked unconscious. And there you have it, folks, the angel calls out. Another Shio fails against that of our simple little look-alike avatar. Not even a Shio. You see the non-giant Shio. The giant that fell before you, now that you look at him closely, Shio, does have a little bit of matted hair, has the eyes, just giant. And I guess it really does look different in proportion when you think of the dimensions of things, but he was a you. There's a giant version of you. Cool. But he failed. She then goes, let us clear the field. Let us let them rust, and let us bring out a special guest. Shio. The whole crowd goes wild. Rah!
To be clear, Shio, I created one of you before I broke time.
What was
And-
that is?
There, be like, yo, I'm his manager. You gotta let me down there. I gotta be in his corner.
The crowd, like,
Oh.
without them intrusively trying to stop you, they all like interlock arms, like Red Rover, stopping you. Any action you guys take, the audience almost organically does some kind of passive gesture to get in your way or hamper your ability to do so. You can still attempt, but just consider anything and everything becomes difficult. And it's all passively. It's non-aggressive. No one will try to hold you down or pin you. And if you get aggressive with them, it'll kind of just bounce you off in a more passive-aggressive manner. But it does seem as if there's some kind of buffer preventing the immediacy of your aid. Not that you can't do it, but it's not as easy as it may look.
We're just
even
gonna
though it's
flip
just
over
part of the
them
crowd.
flying.
As you try to fly, you
Good
feel a
body,
gravity
but
dampening
now
your
they're-
ability to leave the floor. Flying is not allowed in this arena.
Don't worry, I'm
can
sure
we leave the
Shio's got
stadium
this.
to look for another way down there.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
How well is it
I'm gonna look
lit in
within-
this room?
There are torches literally every 5 feet, littered across the entire stands where you guys are. Down by Shio, there's like an odd moat. If you were to hug that side of the wall in that moat, you'd be considered in shadows. Otherwise, everything is pretty well lit. Even the tree in the center has an abundant amount of fire hazard candles that don't seem to have been burning or have already burnt whatever greenery is on the tree.
We're gonna
Considering it
try
seems
to
dead.
help them, all right? I'm not gonna fucking break my back getting down there, all right? If they don't want me to go, I'm not gonna go, all right? We'll just enjoy it from up here.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm out of luck unless I join the initiative roll, but because I am 100% certain I have no focus,
15.
So-
Do we see any way down there?
but I have not used my recovery tool yet.
We'll see what happens for you
also-
guys. You try to see a way down. There are, at the end of each stands, a pathway that goes down into like a weird blocked alleyway. You could attempt to, with this gravity, unfortunately, force you through the spikes, which would require a very serious save or scratching across, landing you in the moat and whatever consequences come then after. Otherwise, there is no immediate simple way down. Nope. Shio, in the center, as the crowd applauds you and you feel almost, for a moment, like the gladiator. Do you walk forward and present yourself, or do you shout from where you stand boldly?
Shio will walk forward and present himself. He's kind of basking in it, a little bit of ego. He
She
just like
walks forward.
waves to the crowd.
The crowd then is like, boo, boo, boo.
I'm gonna
You're
go
a
buy some snacks.
failure.
Meet me
You
in the
don't bring
arena.
anything. You've never succeeded. Your promises are a lie. You feel this weird negative energy, something that almost feels heavier and dankier, almost as if it's been tainted. Is this what the opposite of love feels like for a god? The negative energy, the dampening feelings, everything about you feels heavier, the burden on your shoulders. You then hear Ariel speak out to you. Do you feel that? You think you know what it's like to be a god, but yet you have yet to face a revolution. What about when you're under attack? Your very belief, even if it's just to believe that you love something a little more than that rabbit, and those rabbits prove otherwise, then you lose. Every time you lose a belief, you fail. And every time you fail, you get weaker. How many of you have succeeded?
None of us have.
And you want to be a god?
I will be a god.
One of the weakest, who's ended up dying to some mortal because of a silly little issue over room gammon. I can't possibly imagine accepting and daunting you with such godhood. I will be the processor in and out of this matrix. You have been pinged for hopeful graduation, but I call it evolution. And I'm a lot harder to please than some of the other side-by acceptees. I will expect only the greatest. Prove to me you're not a failure, or kneel now and accept that you start from a grovel.
Normally, I feel like Shio would take the challenge, but he's been humbled recently by the Raven. And he like looks at Hector in his hands, and then he does realize that, yeah, I haven't been very godly, and I shouldn't start at the top. I can accept that I am not what I could be yet, but I will be. Even if I have to die over and over and over and over again, eventually I'll get it right.
Eventually you'll be nothing but dust.
Then I'll be a god of dust. But I shall do my duty to the cosmos. It's what I was made to do.
And so you submit.
Yes, I accept that I don't have anything yet. I accept that I'm not strong enough to deal with my own creation.
We're gonna start booing at him. Boo!
He gets a little bit of reassurance that he's on the right path just because Webb does not agree.
As Webb starts booing, the crowd
I know
starts
that
cheering.
voice.
Ironically, I was about to say the pit stops fighting you, and then Webb flips his own appeal. So it's perfectly lined up as you feel the burden lift, the gravity change, the winds settle. You no longer feel like you've been spiraling or falling as you reach. You touch the ground for the first time, Shio. You've never kneeled. You've never humbled yourself to the point of a grovel. You've never reached the surface in the way Seg's face has met it so many times unconsciously. As you feel the earth beneath your hands, you're like, I should grab the sand more often. I should feel what's beneath the feet in which I should rule. I should have a actual handling on the earth that would be mine. And as that all surges through you, you all appear back.
Wait, what do I have to roll to
Cancel
start a
roll.
sellout chant?
Unfortunately, the opportunity
Wow.
never
Wow.
arrives. As Shio has humbled himself in a way he has never done so before. As the Amazon will reappear here, you all get a little telepathic communication. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? God damn it. If no one answers, your favorite emerald friend that is about to yank out one of their ponytails because you are not going to respond to the future Dean of Order, I will absolutely scream into this echoing device until it makes your ears bleed.
Please,
I mean, you're not
Lorraine,
my favorite.
don't do that, please.
Not
Honestly,
mine
out of
either.
all of our other classmates, Lorraine is my favorite because the other ones are even more rude to us.
This is
At least
accurate.
Lorraine is helpful.
Yes, but
Lorraine
this
has
is
always provided an answer.
Nice. We still haven't found out when it changed.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. The Lorraine that I know is the Dean of Order, correct?
Correct. They all know this also, but
Cool.
they've met a Lorraine before they knew themselves as the Dean of Order. And then Iz was like, well, you're
Cool.
both useful. So then they finally ended up running into each other, but you were around prior to that. So you witnessed it, and then they ran into it when Iz forced that interaction.
Cool. Gaston is still saying you're not my favorite. The other one is.
I hear that way too often. Just
Okay,
because a
that's
mature version
fine.
of me doesn't get to hackle you all as much being university discipline doesn't mean that the young me has to give any hoots or galleys over the fact of your individual development.
I honestly kind of missed you, Lorraine. We've been dealing with a lot.
You've been dealing with a lot. We've been dealing with everything you've been doing. What on earth is happening? Every time we fight the Phyrexians, one day we're winning, the next day no one is, the next day there's a no man's land, and then the next day they're kicking our asses. Every time you guys flip a switch, it changes.
Well, time was supposed to be paused, and we shouldn't have been able to hear you. So this is disappointing.
Ooh, Lorraine, this is the perfect opportunity. I need your help.
Lorraine, like D12 said, how come we don't ever talk no more? We don't like mess around no more. We don't barely keep in touch at all. And
Because I'm not part of your band.
When we hug no more.
I left. I told you all until you can get your acts and priorities together, I would not be part of this paradoxical mispurpose. We stayed at the school to keep it safe because you all couldn't put up your big boy pants and fight your creations. You went off looking for answers. And now those answers are screaming and yelling at us, telling us all the things you thought were going to work, and then decided, oh no, let's just reintroduce it, or let's just pull that plug, or let's just forget the fact that students were taught telepathy for a brief moment. You realize the implications in which you have been passing on. I have no idea what you've all been doing, but the Raven visited us. And let's just say it was very unpleasant.
Oh yeah, we're about to meet the Raven.
If there's anything you could do right now, it is to nip it in the bud. Because if you piss this Raven off any further than you've already had, we are all going to face higher consequences. We are losing the technology we need to fight the Phyrexians. And I do not know what our goal and purpose is other than defend. 2 of the campuses have already fallen into them and is working as an entire subjugation. And the 3rd is already falling. We only have control of Quandrix and the south one. I've never attempted there, so I could not tell you their names.
As such an esteemed individual of the Strixhaven, perhaps you should accompany us to meet the Raven.
They can't WEP. They have to defend the school. Otherwise, it's just game over.
Lorraine ain't defending nobody, alright?
Lorraine, I
recall myself saving you guys multiple times across multiple parallels, across multiple means that you didn't even know at the time was the same person.
Web. Do you want Strixhaven to fall?
I've seen it fall, I've seen it rise. We just start sitting in the corner.
Lorraine, I can help with the Phyrexian threat. If you just tell Anivia I need to see them as soon as possible.
I'm going to continue to eat my popcorn as people chat back and forth.
Anivia, you want us to go after the Vamster leading maniac that hoots and hollers and looks at you weird.
They have the last piece I need to stop the Phyrexians. I only need one piece, and I can get the kill code for them. You just, please, Lorraine. You said we went to find answers, and we found them. I don't usually ask for help, but please.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
I will say this. I can acquire this from Anivia if you tell me what I need to say to them. But if you all go, you're gonna have to fight the Vampsters. They accept me. I meet with them time to time. Their link is that Jevanesh fellow. You know, the one that ran off also. Let's just say I've been instructed to keep our frenemies very close nowadays.
The thing you need to tell him is that the fourth piece is now required.
Very well. Anything else I need to be aware of before I give feudal orders out?
If things work out right, we should. If the Phyrexians, even when they're done, do not lower your guard at all. There's a reason the Phyrexians exist.
Oh, really? Like I have no idea the order in which the timelines have lined up and have doomed us all. Remind me again, who created the purple worm?
I did.
Ah, wow. Do I need to get reminded about other creations in which we've seen existing through our times?
I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm scared.
Very well. So the rest of you, when you arrive, it will be war. I hope your final passage of whatever misdecisions you have made thus far don't kill us before you get here, as I'd really like the opportunity to accidentally misfire at least once in your direction. With all of Strixhaven's honor, we hope you succeed. Don't leave us behind. You guys hear like a behind echo fade up. The table lights up.
I want to use timeline drift.
Okay. How do you wish to
Lorraine
apply it?
directly help us save the world. Our world.
Hmm. Yes. They are the one who stitches it in the proper placements. They do exist, and you guys did choose them because their complete role is making sure that any and all your decisions make some kind of sense. Someone has to figure out where they go. Just because it's a parallel from the future doesn't mean it has to be. You guys have found a way of manipulating everything, and this is the perfect person for that job.
Web, did you just bend the timeline in a favorable way?
Want to shake my hand?
Sure. You know what? At this point, any damage you give, I'll deserve at this point.
He's one of my students. Of course he does
Shocking
that.
grasp.
Shocking grasp. Is it an attack roll or is it a save? If it's an attack roll, it's an advantage because she was willingly accepting your grasp.
It is a save.
Ooh, it's a Shio can fail, as he already kind of spoke out to.
Yeah, I'll
Give him
just give the damage.
He's hoping that after the damage, there's a boon.
Nah, at this point, I'm letting Web. I'm just gonna let him have his way this time. You gotta let him have a little bit of
Learning
cake.
experience too, because I thought you were gonna evaporate. I didn't think I was actually gonna shock you.
So how much damage does shocking grasp come out to, good sir? Yeah, not bad.
This
You take
I'm not used to using this.
you take 24 points.
Oh, that was the hit.
Oh, that's the hit. Never mind. Well, that absolutely fucking hits you. And go ahead and do the damage part. It's also an attack. You're really bad at this.
I am really bad. I've never. We normally it works. All right. Normally stuff works. You just keep skipping us a little bit more by more. First you took away 3D, then you took away fucking forge anymore.
Foundry.
It's not me taking away Foundry. It's called
All right,
maintenance.
yeah, whatever, bro.
I'm gonna put their announcement channel in our thing so you guys can see them. You could read off the damage and we can manual roll that way too if you want.
I don't even know, man. I don't even fucking know.
Shale, you take 28 points of damage. Just
That works for me.
Do you pass any special knowledge on, or do you just shock his hand?
Oh no, it was just a shock. This is more of a test because I don't even know if I'm allowed to touch things right now. Like everything I touch or go near just keeps like evaporating and shit. That one person that we talked to, like literally just disappeared.
You
Those
got it.
are ghosts.
So
Apparently, it doesn't work on gods.
you were the godling. All of you guys witness this as you're sitting around this glowing table. The table itself begins to open.
You know, like those old time clowns that had like the buzzers. That I imagine that's like exactly what happened.
Right? Yeah, like a clown buzzer. The table, it descends into itself, revealing a beautiful sunshine, oddly just appearing, kind of like what is that rope trick? I think it's called, where you throw a rope and you just climb it in the air or something like that. But you guys are walking out from a step, so if you choose to go down it, and it lands you on a beach where a whole camp is set up. Great smelling meats and sausages with veggie options present also. On top of that, there's good looking smoothie based coconut milk and other beverages of taste and flavor. And so let me go and just get all you guys together.
I choose to trust it. I know I shouldn't, but I choose to.
Are we still in the fucking Matrix?
I don't care where we are, dude.
fine.
Pina coladas.
We're going to find the
I don't know. Maybe we unlocked a secret option because we released all of the echoes.
I thought I uploaded it. Let me
Maybe let me
add
have
it in
one
real
pina
quick.
colada before we start questioning things.
I mean, the food smells good, but that's also suspicious. We're in a dungeon. Food shouldn't smell good. And there shouldn't just
I
be
will be a
sitting out
guinea
here.
pig, okay? I will drink a finely made pina colada, and if I die, then don't drink the pina coladas.
You all step out and everything sounds great. The beachy breeze gives off a beautiful smell. It all comes off natural. Nothing seems out of place for once. A new day rises before you. You drink some of the pina colada. It is divine.
How do I feel?
Totally great. You want more?
Guys, the pina coladas, not poison.
Oh wait, I don't think poison affects any of us.
I know it doesn't affect
No, it
me.
affects Gaston.
Oh right, you have to wait 6 seconds, right?
Yeah, I have to wait 6 seconds, and then I can end the effects. By the way, has it been an hour since I was hotboxed yet?
Yeah, I'd say that's withered off as you pass through here. The sea
Cool.
breeze is like a smelling salts of freshness. I'm gonna grab myself another beer real quick. As you guys arrive, you may take a long rest if you need to trigger one. You may also have a quick sidebar on how odd this island feels homey. Though Iz is the only one who can tell you every single thing from this moment because this is where he was found. He just remembered all this just now.
I want to throw the ass of my pina colada at Chio and see, yo, I told you, it's real. All right, this is real. These are real. This is a real pina colada. This is real good. It's real.
I'm gonna see if she avoids it.
Stop asking questions and just let it be.
I remember this place.
You remember this place is? Shio says, drinking a pina colada.
Yeah.
She's like, damn, this is good.
Oh,
What
it
else
is.
just pops into existence with pina coladas? My stupid place.
Oh, so there must be Vol. Oh, is that why there's a Vol in my boot over there?
Sure.
I can never tell. They just leak out of the pocket dimension sometimes.
Yeah, we should probably set in some population control there.
Oh
Something about
yeah.
infinite food and non-infinite space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely like to catch one because I know Seg likes to eat them, but they're always too fast.
I'm kind of worried about the blood sacrifice cults they're starting. I really think we should do something about that. That's just not normal. Anyway, how do you like my pina
Enjoy
coladas?
some pina coladas.
They're pretty good.
Come on, just like 15 minutes. We got sand, we got water, we got pina coladas.
Oh,
We're
we'll
time
rest here.
travelers. We got all the time we ever need.
Except we never have enough. Is this how Tempos feels? No wonder he never gets anything done.
I mean, we're not really using the time travel. We should.
Come on, let's kick the boots off. Let's go for a swim.
I mean, go for it. We're resting here, right?
That's a good point.
Dun.
We're definitely doing all that during that rest. Enjoy the little things.
So, you all hear a burp. As you do, you look around and hold on, I gotta pull a couple icons. They got like a spirit icon in here or something. It's got a bunch of skulls. A bunch of skulls. That could work. They're all dead. Here, we'll do this. From the bushes, you see a web. You see an Iz. You see a Gaston. You begin to see all kinds of different versions of you guys littering the entire island.
I choose to ignore them.
You ignore them. How do the rest of you guys go about it? You may approach any node you wish, as they're going to see them appearing all across the island very soon as I rearrange
Is
that.
this
Have you?
before or after our long rest?
Yeah, after. When you guys choose to interact with it, if there's anything you wish to discuss prior to the end of the long rest, you may just do so now with me.
I approach my is. What have you done?
That's a very broad question. I need you to narrow it down by orders of magnitude.
Currently, what have you done?
I made pina colada.
No, I made pina coladas. I'm gonna slap it out of his hand. I made pina coladas.
It was like a
But-
perfectly is-sized pina colada glass.
If I asked any of the questions I want to ask you, I'm pretty sure that I would be completely done at this point.
Oh, good. I guess.
No, not good. Like, after this is over, after we're done with the 4, I'm dropping out.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Now you graduate. If we don't at least graduate from destroying 4 primordial entities from before our battlefields.
You
I don't
already
know.
fell for the trap. Time doesn't move.
Oh.
Your contract is irrelevant.
Oh,
You are forever.
contracts?
Forever
No.
enslaved by the
You don't understand the depths of my lack of agency. I never had any, apparently.
Do not break a dragon contract.
Well, yeah, don't do that. But what? I mean, I don't keep
Considering-
slaves.
But you made me what I am.
You made me.
I did. His looks concerned.
The timeline bullshit that the book showed us, remember?
Yes.
I haven't had any agency since before I was born.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's half the point of this. Once we're done, you'll be free. Really free.
I mean, technically, we gave everyone free will back with releasing one of them. I think it was the C one. Everyone got free will. Like they got it back.
Yeah, I wonder why I sealed that up. Maybe it was one of my control phases. I don't know.
Well, you probably needed to create a perfect set of circumstances for this situation and then let this situation go.
Yeah, because he didn't
Awesome.
want Seg to be part of the storm anymore. He had to break his pact.
Yeah.
So he sealed it away to force that to occur.
During the
But-
long rest, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to go into this tent and attune to my wand.
You turn to your wand and you swipe it out. And you go, super good muffin. No super good muffin appears, but you're
Aw.
attuned to it.
But I want a muffin now. Are there muffins on this island? Well, I'll go ask one of the residents later.
Is there any way that I can recover the memories of the failed times
Uh,
that are in the
Yeah.
book?
absolutely. The book
Yeah,
has
it's
everything.
Book of War Crimes.
Some of them might have been literally destroyed when we destroyed some of our mistakes, but most of them will be there.
Yeah, the book remembers Al. Here,
Yeah,
I hand the book to him.
Changed,
You just
but
have to find the right
crime
page.
stayed the same.
He hands you a very thick binded multitude of pages that seem magically shrunk to fit even more magically further. You don't even have a page number on it because the Roman numerals get so extensive after the 10th digit, it's just why bother. But what exactly do you wish to try to thumb out of the Book of War Crimes, Gaston?
A way to be able to remember the echoes of me that never were, I guess?
Have we ever fucking war crimed you?
So, like the erased versions of your previous existences,
Yes.
and you want to like remember like key moments where they gasp in odd, or like it can't be like everything because then it's like somehow you get the reels to every existence of time and space. But it could be a specific, every time
me if I'm
they
wrong,
faltered,
but
every
war
time
crimes,
they made a big decision.
Yeah,
You can
but
key a moment,
war crimes.
like a filter to it.
I basically want to see
Like, don't mind me if I'm wrong, but like I'm saying, it would probably be your failures would be in the book because it would be whenever we crossed you and probably murdered you. Because it's just war crimes. It's the whole book of war. It's everything that he's fucked up.
Yeah, so I think if you like put the filter of like times we failed, it might give you that, or more specifically, like times certain people have failed, or avoidable failures, stuff like that.
every time it went wrong.
Yeah, it's not like a book about your life.
Okay.
It's like a book about when you've
So
been.
you choose every time it went wrong for the previous Gastons. That's what you want to record. Gaston?
Gaston is basically aiming to try to learn from these failures to improve himself.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We did not.
Okay, what have they done the same that has worked?
You approach a version of yourself that's present here. Any and all of them could be a version of you at any point in time in a parallel. As you do, we begin. The Cradle of Echoes starts. I need you, Gaston, to roll me a d4.
Three.
Right. Hey, yo, sir. You feel your body almost buffer in a way. It grows in strength. You feel bolder. You feel as if your lung capacity strengthens. A bit more about you is bolstered all together. The echo approaches you and speaks out. As it reaches out and makes contact with you. You know, the last time I saw anything like myself and Amir, I told them, you are going to be the one not to fall so soon. I've watched many, and even I fell last. In doing that, I will give you the same. And that is when you feel this warmth. Almost like a buffer of sorts. As the rest of you guys see Gaston interact with their random echo present here, the echo then absorbs themselves into Gaston. As you see it break into small particles and then yield themselves into the very being of Gaston standing there.
I love how he officially joined the club. A dude talking to himself, and everyone just sitting there like, "No, it's okay, it's okay." They do that.
And that's how it was supposed to happen.
With that, you guys all witness that multiple of each of you guys is present here. And an odd sense and pull after your long rest yearns you to follow a path of self-realization and odd gratitude. Whoops, I don't know why it's this crazy brush, but whatever. I'll just figure this out quick. Yeah, I don't know why I
How did I remember that?
I'd like to ignore
Memories
it.
work
I'm gonna enjoy
in
pina
scary
coladas
ways.
and sand in my toes and nice warm water with the waves.
Hey, it's...
Huh?
Did you erase my memory at any point?
Did you want me to tell you yes or no? I want to say
Above game, Gaston did tell you to tell him immediately after the thing happened to tell him what was wiped from his memory,
Above
and you
game,
never
he
did.
had his memory wiped, so he wouldn't know to tell you that.
This is also
I-
true.
so
Oh, you could
pat
ask
your
above.
top right pocket.
Gaston will check.
I think that's where I put the memory crystal.
As you look, you see a little shiny gem. You pop it out, and it has this kind of odd chisel mark that looks more like a unbreakable teardrop compared to the rest of normal memories that have a shape of emotion or attitude. This one is almost like it's a cliffhanger. If you hit it wrong, it shatters completely, but otherwise it could take a beating from any direction, in any way, and be resilient to all. As you hold on to it, you feel it mold like soft melted putty into your hand as your body embraces this. You feel a little vibration. As you do, the rest of the party looks around and sees about 3 or 4 of you standing next to yourself, singularly in the center. And then they flicker back out. What this
So
means
do I-
is a mystery at this time, but I'll discuss it with you after session. But you may say what you wish.
So do I remember do I remember that specific memory now?
Yeah, you remember a lot of other stuff too, which I'll provide to you. But you feel very whole. And yes, go ahead.
When we find that asshole, if we find that asshole, I am going to beat my own ass.
I think Wep would pay to see that.
I'm playing in the fucking tide pools, alright? This is the first time in a long time we've had no stress, and I'm trying to abuse it.
As you're playing in the tide pools, you see a reflection echo approach you. It is not yourself, but it is one of your own, Kilamari. The large tentacles fling out of the water and slap it happily and proud. It wants to give you a hug, but it would strangle you in the process. But it lets you give it a good squishy.
Oh yeah, we're squishing on it.
As you jump and enjoy it, I need you to roll a d4.
Yeah, you're so big now. How have you?
I wanna play with calamari with my bro.
Yeah, our little baby.
Calamari pushes Seg away. Just kidding. No, fucking with you. As you jump in, give me a d4.
I just did. I got a 4.
No, I know. I meant 6.
Dude, me too, bro.
Look at him. Look at him. The icon.
You know what you got, Seg?
Oh yeah, 3.
As you guys embrace it, Wep, you feel like you came up with a whole new bit of pet slang. You're over here Gucci Gucci gooing and gaga, things you've never even put together, and you feel impressed with yourself because Kilamari is responding very positive to it. This Chia pet is getting the best experience of its life right now with your oxygen expulsion of bad verbiage and lineage put together. Sega's too distracted and is just loving the amount of squeezing and squishes his body is embracing, kind of giving him almost like this buff workout, feeling as if he himself is able to burden a bit more.
While we are playing in love with it, we are definitely also going to remember that, wait, aren't you supposed to be at like a space of your own? Like, should we not have, like, there's no way we found you.
No, you definitely see it as an echo. It's an echo of something of your guys' existence, and you have a menagerie of echoes out there. You do have a lot of pets calling Wep's name out, wondering where Daddy is.
The little babies, why don't you feed them? You give them some ear scratchies.
As such, Shio, you see a version of yourself kind of cheering you with a drink of their own in their hand. They kind of have this odd look to them. They have a big satchel over their body that they reach into and they pull out a flute. And they begin to play it very humbly. It's very low toned and soft rhythmed. And then he stops and he goes, I hear you've got a tale. Perhaps you wish to tell it.
Where would I start?
Join me, friend, for a break, a reprieve. Take a step away from the stresses.
Sure.
4.
A D4?
Is you see another version of you using an old school calculator. It is so rudimental that they are using coconut husks as the digits and small hide kind of stranded fiber leaves as the thousandths because they could not make a expandable long enough throne for their little body and shape to reach in a efficient manner. But this works. You see that they could hit up to the 100 million thousandth digit with a point in between. Very impressive for how very basic it is here on this island. It's counting relentlessly, some kind of calculation. Do you bother it or just observe?
What you calculating?
Oh, I'm calculating the amount of times in which how many reflections could possibly appear at the same time, like a Guinness World Record. We could then submit it to the Texian Council and get recognized for being the most amount of echoes to ever exist at one point, if they were to acknowledge echoes as a true existence, because we've been fighting that argument since the paper was released, and they've never acknowledged it in that way. Shane?
Of course they don't, because it would upset their record.
My point precisely. But it feels good to speak to someone who understands the same mind. Roll me a d4.
D400?
A d4. Shia, what was yours again?
Oh, I was like,
Gosh, so fitting for all. A 4? Nice. All right. Very good, very good, very good. So, as you guys interact with
Very good for you or very good for us?
reflection of each of yourselves, you guys almost feel as if a escalator-like path is moving you all further and further down the aisle to this massive massive is like dragon figurine. And I say that because it is non-motion. It's not breathing. There's no wings flapping, but they're stationary out. It's very big from the distance. You could see it across from any part of the island. But you guys hit another row of your reflections. As you do, these ones go on about to state how all the things that matter most fall into your guys' personal chosen beliefs. I need you guys all to roll a d6.
Is this version of Is familiar from the basement?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Is this version of Is familiar from the basement? Have I seen it before?
Yeah,
You've
you've seen
seen
a million versions.
a lot of these. Who rolled the 5? Oh, let me look at the history. I guess I can
Seg.
click that.
I rolled a 4.
Correct. Thank you. 5 and 4.
I joined you with a 4.
I wasn't paying attention.
Call out the others. Gosh, this is kind of weird. I have to actually click on you guys individually. I see. Huh. Shia got a 2.
Yes, I got it too.
I've got a 5. Good. Very nice, very nice. We're going to go down the entire list of what all this means in a bit, but you guys got a lot more dice to roll. As you guys make it into the third wave, you see that there's a odd halt. They all stop you guys in a brief way. They all reach over each other and almost hug in a massive huddle. They surround you guys in an enchanting manner as they all speak from their own tongue, their own purpose, their own reasons, and you each feel this embellishing yearn, pull, and embracement. I need all of you guys to roll me a D8.
1.
1,
3.
3, 7 for
5.
7, 5 for it, 2 for 1. Oh, very good, very good. You all feel this huge. You all take a deep breath, and it comes so clear as if you had the perfect amount of minty fresh to just really open up the lungs and make all the pores just take in a wallopy. You all feel like you've been bolstered, roostering in a way in which your chest pumps out a bit more and your confidence rises. As you continue walking down, a version of yourself joins each of your sides. What would you tell yourself, knowing that this is the moment you can speak honest and confident, and know that only yourself will ever carry this echo forward? We'll start with Shia.
So like I imagine Shio's just telling him about the tournament, about what he just went through in the pit, and talking about how he realized that he has only ever seen alternate versions of himself that are pompous and arrogant and too self-assured, and he's realized that that's what they all have in common besides failing is, gotta humble yourself a little, touch the earth, touch grass,
Okay? They're like, wow, I've done a couple things that are like absolutely godly. I mean, I've saved villages and made huts appear because I was just nice enough to build them for them, and they just worship me. You sound like you got your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I think you need to just take in the air and, like you said, touch the grass a bit more. Remember that when you fall, there's always something there to catch it, no matter how hard it is. The impact is the only thing that matters. Without it, you're lost. And it just goes to give you a big ol' hug, and when it does, you absorb it. I need you to roll me a D10.
Five.
Very good. Is your what would you tell yourself? You see a taller, slankier version of yourself. Just looks at you and has more of a mohawk going on. It's like, sup?
Did you say sup?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know. Nothing.
You're like a nerd, huh? One of those XY2M square things.
Whoa, are you the jock version of me? Those are
Shit,
rad.
Iron Lifter Society inventor, bro. I'm like the founder, man. Looks like you got the badge there. You a member, huh?
Yeah. I was a member, but I'm definitely not the strongest.
You don't gotta be. You just gotta be willing to be in there with the strongest.
I know. I guess I could turn into a gorilla and win, but that feels like cheating.
He gives like a little finger snaps and does a weird Anivia like gesture of like, ooh. And as he does, roll me a d10. He's like, that's not bad, man. A giant gorilla? I've never thought of that. And you absorb him on 6. Feelings, feelings. Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop.
Being a druid
Gaston.
makes life easy for that sort of thing.
You see a version of yourself, Gaston, that joins alongside you briefly, and they have no scratches, no scars, no markings, but they seem toned, like they've definitely been through some stuff through their eyes, through the depth of their like skin tightness. The lack of wrinkles shows that they are in great health or eat really well. And they travel alongside you in a stoic manner. They look over and they begin to whistle and hum a song that you remember at either point, your mother or your father using to keep you cradled and calm at night. Almost like a nurturing gesture of safety. You're not alone. Do you respond in any way?
As the verse that he sings ends, he responds with the other vocal chorus.
Good. Roll me.
Because this is supposed to be a duet.
You got it. I love it. Go ahead and give me a D10 at advantage. You get to choose which one you want. Ooh, that's really good. Actually, let me see if that changes anything. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I guess I'll take the 7
Okay.
since
You
it's
got it.
higher.
7. Locking it in. As you respond with the other part, they stop. They smile. They reach up their cuff, kind of because you guys are both monks, and they unwrap. And as they unwrap it, they have this huge, awesome looking tattoo marking of the family sigil. And he looks at you, and you see a glow. He's like, don't forget, when this appears, you know you're in good standing. We're not all there for nothing. Just because our parallels got lost doesn't mean we lost. After all, we're here. And then you feel it absorb inside you, joining you along for the journey permanently. Seg, a non-piratey version of you walking like they are SpongeBob with trousers, tucked in a shirt, and a pair of glasses looking too nerdy to even gawk at. What do you do?
Are they like approaching me?
They're walking with you alongside you. They look excited. They look very proud. They don't look at you, but they look ahead, knowing that they're next to you.
So to be clear, they're playing with calamari with me.
No, you guys are all walking at this point. I was trying to state that you guys all felt a forceful movement moving forward on your journey.
Right. Okay.
You are thinking of calamari so much, you're looking for calamari, and you find this
I
nerdist-ass version of you instead.
Calamari, where'd you go? Did you do you need
He's
something?
like, I really enjoy my menagerie friends. I once got the opportunity to take care of them alone without supervision once, and I absolutely goofed it, but it was a blast. They're also fangless.
Yeah, I like hanging out with the menagerie 2. What do you mean tasked? Is there somebody here that takes care of the animals? I thought they kind of just, did their own thing.
Oh gosh, you must be the naive version of me because everyone knows that when you he just explodes and his essence gets absorbed by you. Your lack of intelligence compared to his was just stunning. Give me a D10.
Hey guys, I think I broke mine.
I like how calm he
3.
is.
Web. You see a non-pierced version of yourself, but super covered in tats. He looks at you. He does a hair flip. And it looks good doing it. You see like in the background, suave.
That's your gimmick? You're just pretty?
He's like, man, you look like a good one of me. Tell me your tales so I can lie about them.
I don't know how to handle you. I think we're just gonna try draining it with the fucking Daylich power.
You absorb your own echo.
Yeah.
Roll me a
I just don't have
D10.
time for this.
Roll me a D10. He's just like, what?
I get it. You and me, we're the same, and but also I don't got time for that. I'm just gonna eat you.
Take yourself. You got it. Give me that D10. 8. All right. You guys continue down, and this time you all see a different version of yourself that represents the polar opposite of your general emotion. It comes up giddily and it makes contact with you. Doom, 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 doom. Each of you guys roll me a d12 as a legacy touches your hand. A legacy version of yourself, meaning one that succeeded, but their success was not great enough.
12.
9.
8.
11.
Ooh, 5. Okay. I like it. I like it. So, you all feel a different form of empowerment. Well, not all, but generally, you guys all feel different levels of affections coming over you. Some of you feel as if you passively pick up something a parallel has attuned now to you. Others feel as if you've joined in a bondment that was living in the moment when another learned something key in their factor. And then others come to bond with their illusion of theories and beliefs of what the other parallel experienced. You then all look out. As you each look out ahead, you see this massive dragon that's most likely a statuette of what would be one day. But beyond it, the backdrop changes like a scene selection, that each of you have a choice. Roll me a d20, and after you're done rolling your d20, explain to me your choice of the world before you. We will start with Web.
Voice the roll before.
16. What scene do you see?
I think we're looking for the most similar goal now that I realize there's multiple versions of ourselves on this island. One that I don't want to drain. Double the power.
Okay.
So are we like describing a version of ourselves we want to see, or like a
Scene
situation?
before you, a world. The choice of the world before you. What world would you want to go into next? If it's just about what you want to see yourself as, then that's fine too, because yourself is part of the world. But it's
Oh, okay.
whatever you state. Seg. Roll me a d20 and then describe it. Nice.
I'm looking for a world where I never went to Strixhaven at all. I want to know if what is said back when I first signed up is true, that I would have died when the world ended anyway. Just to be sure.
Okay. You see yourself vulnerable. You're an Aarakocra. Your bones are weak, or at least they're hollow. And you're a champion of your kind. You were a grand athletic at Strixhaven, and everyone knew of you. The only flaw was you never had strong backup. You were only as strong as your weakest ally, and your weakest ally was yourself most of the time. If you shot yourself in the foot, which happened 80% of the time, you were already done for. You realize you absolutely would have failed if you were left alone as a flockless bird. But you have found your pirate buddy, and that link is stronger than any parallel bond of breakage. This was not just meant, but when he found you, he chose you out of all the other yous. As you're witnessing here, he could have that nerdy ass one, but a lot smarter than you. A lot more helpful in a lot of other ways. Definitely corruptible. Prime meat, that one. But he chose you.
Across the cosmos, bro. We're done with this planet.
And Web could have chose that one. He saw that one before, but he chose you.
Dude, I love you so much, bro. Pyro Bros for life. Well, unlife, I guess.
Fakey's life. Gaston, what choice of the world before you do you see?
Wow, that's a 14.
Nice. Okay. Describe yours.
I guess it would only be fitting. A world where I guess a world where his mother succeeded in the ritual that she attempted to do.
Okay. And would that be a horizon of growth or a horizon of safety?
A horizon of growth.
Go ahead and roll that d20 and describe yours.
Is
What the
you need to
15?
go create all those horrors Shio's gonna tell you not to make because it's gonna be so fucking cool.
Did you create me to be your self-restraint?
No.
I was actually gonna be like, what if I never forgot?
You're just the one like well put together Shio. You saw all the other yous.
Yeah, that giant one was cool though.
I know. I really don't know why we set up an arena like that. That seems like a dick move to do yourself.
I think that was more a powerful celestial didn't believe that you could do what you said you'd do and wanted to test if you failed or not.
Yeah, you'll see in the future. It's all your fault.
I haven't lived that yet. I'm not accountable to future crimes.
With that, you look 2.
Shio...
And tell me what it looks like.
Oh, 18. Shio looks to find a world where everything only has local problems and he can establish his own order of people to bring them to their maximum potential where they work together and he's believed in. Like
Okay.
a perfect world.
A perfect world. You're so cute. Utopias don't exist. All right.
Man, whose perfect world? Yours?
Well, the perfect world is just a normal D&D world, but like without extra dimensional invaders.
You guys is bullshit, right?
Yeah,
Right. With that, you guys continue forward, and you see a small gift sitting before you. It looks very well packaged and almost meant for you in a way where you could just you just feel excited as if you're anticipating something. Who's the first to open theirs?
Should we roll?
It's up to you.
Oh,
You can
go
do a
ahead.
roll off if you want, or anyone can roll ahead. You guys will be rolling a D100 though when you open it.
Should we do like sleight of hand, guys?
What?
Just who
Just do
opens
the
the
four.
presents first?
Oh no, go ahead. I want to see if it explodes.
I want to tell.
Oh,
Shaggy
in that
I
case.
hate myself.
You have no idea how many presents, I do air quotes, I've received, and they just try to kill me.
That's fair, I suppose.
Yo, say you'll never believe it, but I just fucking hate myself.
Honestly, I believe anything nowadays. I'll go first.
Then I'll go after him then.
24. Shield. Who's next? We got Is, Gaston, and Wet.
No, go ahead, guess.
$70. Oh no, that's 7.
Very good. All right. Yeah, I think I still need weapon then Is. $97. Right to the top on that end is the balance is with you.
Roll.
8. Wow, you guys are just hanging out sub 10. Check you guys out.
I mean, from my understanding, lower is usually better with D100s.
Yeah,
It's
amazing roll,
interesting.
Mike.
It's interesting. But it does not end there. As you guys open your gifts, I'm checking across my chart real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Shio, Is, and Gaston, each of you guys acquire a trinket of echoed purpose. I'll get more into the details in a bit. Seg, with your 24, you acquire a soul-bound curio. A sentient trinket, basically. And Web with a 97. You get a split timeline anchor. As you open them up, you guys instantly know what these items are, and they are so awesome because they're things that only your imagination could have come up with. They should not exist, yet they do in a physical form of use. With it, you think one more time in the essence of all of your purposes. Do you find yourselves a part of the fusion of the future or a follower of it? Each of you roll me or flip me a D2.
Can we do that in this one? I don't know how to edit dice.
It's not a D2. Lame. All right.
We can do a
Uh,
D4 minus 2.
You can do a D4 and go odd and even if you want.
Okay. I'm gonna go even is heads, odd is tails. Oh, heads.
Heads.
Was that everybody?
I didn't see Gaston's.
So I won.
Oh, he
Oh,
just
3.
got
got a
Okay.
3.
3. So 2 3s. Wep also got a 3. Yeah, so 1. Everyone got 1 so far. I don't think anyone flipped a 2.
I got a 2.
Oh,
I
you
also
did.
got
Gotcha. Okay,
Oh.
we got 1 1 2 2 1.
Back in a sec. Gotta change some monitor.
All right. Just jot it all down on my manually written on graph here. All right. You guys arrive to the grand, massive statue thingy. Is awesome parallel. As you do, you see, excuse me, jeez, before you, as, excuse me, excuse me, I apologize, gassy beer does it to you. As you guys approach it, and it lets out a, I have waited and wondered how long a echo of such memories would take to make it back around once. Much too long it's been, but boons you've gained in such longevity are present and accounted. What did all these dice mean, guys? Now, unfortunately, because we're not in Foundry, none of these things can be so easily edited. However, now would be a great time to have a pen and pencil or a text editor before you. The very first thing you rolled was a D4. That resulted with Shio with the 4, Iz with the 4, Gaston with the 3, Seg with the 3, and Wep with the 4. Because you guys got so much in common, this is real easy. Everyone who got a 4 gets a permanent +1 to their charisma. The two of you that got a 3 gets a permanent +1 to your constitution. The D6, Shio got a 2, Iz got a 4, Gaston got a 4, Seg got a 5, Wep got a 5. That leaves us with Shio receiving +1 to wisdom, Iz and Gaston receiving, let me say 4, sorry, +1 to any stat of your choice. Seg and Wep receiving +2 to your reflections domain stat, which requires you guys each to roll a D100 right now, and I will tell you what that is. $68. And I think, I don't know if it should, oh, there you go, 38. Nice, almost off, like literally. Okay. 1 sec. Seg, yours is intelligence, +2. Wet, yours is wisdom, +2. I'm also writing this down for, I can later provide you guys a breakdown of all this, but this is what it's all for. Very nice, very nice. Your guys' D8 was an HP boost, a permanent HP boost, I might add. Shio coming in at a 3, and I think you guys all got a different result. Some of you guys share one. Let me see, 1 to 2. Gaston and Wep, you guys got a 1 and a 2, respectively. You guys each get a permanent +10 to your HP. Then we have Shio at 3. You get a permanent +15 to your HP. Is at a 5 would get +20, and Seg at a 7 would get +25. Congratulations. Nice. Congratulations. Your D10s was an echo of oneself. We've got how many pairs here? 1 to 5. Seg and Shio. You both gain advantage on one type of saving throw of your choice. The next up is 6 to 8 on the D10. That's going to be 6, 7, and 8 is Gaston and Wep. The three of you guys each ignore the first failed death saving throw once per long rest in your future hiccups. D12 was your legacy touch. It was an interaction with a version of yourself that succeeded, but unfortunately did not succeed grand enough to prevent the fall of their parallel. You guys all rolled really high on that one. Hold on. 5 to 8. That's going to be Wep and Iz. You guys each, by next session, again, I'll give you guys a breakdown of all this, get to choose a class feature from another class at 5th level. This is a memory from the Echo you came in contact with. They teach you an innate ability, and it can be from any class.
Oof, dangerous.
Yes, I'm curious to see. You guys are 20 plus now, baby. Then we have next up on the Legacy Touch 912s. 9, 11, and 12. Gaston, Seg, and Shio. Your weapon and or arcane focus becomes a conduit and is naturally attuned, not counting towards your attunement count. It is a +1. If it was already a plus, it gains a +1 to that plus. And you are able to cast Minor Illusion once per day. Your fists, your unarmed attacks would be plus of whatever the already modifier would be, +1.
No, that's not what I'm hemming about. I believe I can already cast Minor Illusion as a.
Is there a greater
can
Minor
already
Illusion? If there's not, I'll give you a greater Minor Illusion.
I can also
Okay.
cast Minor Illusion.
If you already, this isn't supposed to be super crazy. This was just, an extra boon on the side. But yes, if you already can cast it, I'll add a little greater option on there that can do better stuff.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good point. Yeah. With such, going into the choice of the world before you. See that. Different chart. Here we go. This one gets real fun. Alrighty, starting from 1 to 4 here on the D20, we had none of those. From 5 to 10, we had a 6. That was Seg. You, sir, can choose any 5th level spell from any class. You now know it permanently. You may cast it once per long rest, even if it's not on your class list. The spell manifests as if it was casted by your Echo, flavored with their appearance, voice, and or style. Kind of like a glitch and just appears behind you, just whatever, however you decide to depict it every time you cast. But you may choose one. With that 11 to 15 on the D20 scale here, we have a 14 and a 15 that's Gaston and is once per. Oh, you have. Oh, so sorry. Just to name them. Seg, yours was called Whispered Magic, and is in Gaston. Yours is called Faded Reflex. Once per long rest, you may react before initiative is rolled, taking a single action or spell cast in response to an event as if time skipped ahead for you. The first enemy to act must make their action with disadvantage or spell failure DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
That's a lot. Could you type that out in the Discord, please?
You guys did. All of this will be charted to you guys. I have it already in a little home brewery for you guys to do like a little bingo card. I literally took all your guys' stuff. There's tons of stuff. I just want to let you guys know these awesome things you guys got going into your next big thing. This is your guys' like beyond 20 boons for going this far into the Matrix, basically. Like you guys are hacking yourselves in a way. Next up is 16 to 19. We have 16, 19. It's going to be Weapon Shio, the two of you guys. Thread of Influence. You now leave behind an echo of your actions in reality. Anytime you complete a long rest, you may choose one of the following to play into effect. Gain +1 AC for the day, or gain resistance to 1 damage type, or have one illusion of yourself act autonomously once a day during combat or roleplay. And the flavor text would be, I've already done this. You're just catching up.
That's pretty cool.
And then the next was our D100. You guys all opened mystery gifts. With it, on our lowest rolls, we had 5, 8, and 7 running into the 1 to 20 field. You guys each got a trinket of echoed purpose. The way this breaks down is you receive a curious artifact. It could be all kinds of different things. I have not broken down what it is, but an example would be a copper tooth that sings in the wind, a grain of sand with a heartbeat, things that have existed from previous players or have been lost to the echoes of what you once could have found in the campaign. There are so many items, Gaston, this team purposefully ignored because they knew going there was dangerous. And they were like, yeah, no, we already got our asses kicked by the guards. And they would just ditch awesome loot in favor of survival, which I guess paid off. I don't know. They could have had so many artifacts, but
We got to level 20 with most of our party never dying.
surprisingly so. But once per week, basically once per session, you guys will get a to roll before session, and there will be a list that you guys will be able to see all the items ahead of time, and they'll all be built in Foundry, etc. And you guys will be able to have access to that item during the session, etc. So that is how the Trinket of Echoed Purpose works. Yeah, they will always be a list of. It'll be like if you guys have ever watched that Mickey's Clubhouse, they have like the tool thingy that helps and always has 4 tools that will always solve a problem they face. It's basically something like that, but you guys will share it. So it's like a wheel of sharing who has access to this actual tool. But yeah, I'll give you guys the details about that. But that's how that works. Next is the 24, which is our boy Seg. He gets the Soulbound Curio. You gained a sentient trinket with a 1d4 cryptic ability. It has a cool little list there. It may glow in presence of lies, open locks that don't exist, or allow you to speak a word in a voice that was never yours. Once per long rest, you may ask it to help. However, it will in ways you cannot control.
This sounds wicked.
Wicked this week comes with that web at 97. That breaks one tier, 51 to 75. That breaks. What's that? Yeah, it's time split anchor. Okay. You get in the 91 to 100 field, sir. The split timeline anchor. You fracture across the weave. You now carry 2 echoes of yourself. Once per session, you may rewind time for a full round of combat. The party's position, HP, and spell slots are all reverted to the best, last remembered possible moment. So basically, if combat's going really south for you guys and you get your asses kicked and you happen to be at the end of initiative or not, or even not, you could use this and everyone's like, okay, at the beginning of this round, where was everyone? We'll do our very best to revert it all, like a Prince of Persia Sands of Time vibe, to give you guys another round at it or another shot at it. And you guys remain remembering all of the shit that just happened until Web tells you about this event. No one knows its effect. But after it's happened once, you guys then will recollect it if he uses it again. But the point being is that you don't forget what happens. You just get reverted with the ass kicking on your face, but all the health from not losing it. And the flavor for that is the only thing that remains is what you remember. And that echo lingers even after. And with that, you guys all flipped a coin to seal the deal. I know it was a lot, but you guys brought all of your echoes out to play because it's time to get back out there in the main campaign. Everyone who flipped a 1, which is Gaston and Wep. 1 echo follows you in the final battle as an incorporeal guide. They whisper hints and things you should focus or consider during the event. I would take their hints seriously and very considerable. The other 2 of you, Shio and Seg, 1 echo fuses into you. You each gain +1 AC permanently, or you are immune to ever being surprised from anything. You have a perfect spidey sense. You guys can consider that throughout the week and make that decision after you thought about it for a bit. But again, I'll give you guys a full breakdown of all these awesome things that, and then you guys can also see what could have happened if this might have been a few things that weren't mentioned and whatnot. But as you guys get to this statue, it opens up its mouth and it says, "And the parallels of favor." And no Aladdin here. No Iago saying, "Oh, they're gonna die." Instead, there's echoes behind you, waving, smiling, giving you their all. knowing that what you face next is all or nothing.
Y'all ready to go back into the Matrix? Meet the Raven?
Yep.
Any
Bye,
questions?
knees.
Any concerns? No? You got it. You guys all step in. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Whoa. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Clearly don't know how to use this. All right. As you guys go back into the Matrix for what feels like a very long time, you don't see the glyph, the gear, the lock, the mechanism preventing your guys' very progress forward. Instead, you see a massive, open-ranged Battlefield's guide map showing multiple locations. You then hear an overbearing scanning protocol. Shioden. Please respond with your recognized digital signature.
Shiodin. Shio says, hoping that that's the answer.
You guys hear a long pause. You understand off of this immediate grid before you, in this odd float of space, you guys are the Dragon Guard in the top right-hand side, where Strixhaven resides. Some of you have been to Edia, which is south of you from there, and you guys have recently heard of the term the Condensa Annex, which is placed presently there on the other side of what seems to be a massive chute between the center of the Bonifants. Something interesting to you all, immediately pointing out to each of you, is the Voxum Primaris, the Solmora Vira, and the Vanthex Knoll. Each of those locations had a Phyrexian node. You guys then hear a disruption in the silence. You have made it to the tactical consciousness of myself, the Raven. I want you all to understand the plan and plot of purpose we have then taken the Azerians toward with their unique functions against our known weaknesses, anti-magical foreign resistances. You must understand at this point, you have unlocked so many significant things I was placed with protecting. You must have your reasons for going so far. I just hope that your logical gears do not fry before mine finishes calculating your now new input jewel systems in the parallels. Do any of you respond to the ominous noise around you?
Are we in an orrery?
That
She
is
is-
the
this is-
precise, exact privilege in which you are present. However, this is not a orrery. It is a orrery of the Battlefields, where we are just a speck of where one space in the orrery would be in the placements of our planes. For the Arcavio sector does not amass to the grand space of the Battlefields itself. You are instead linked here from there, because the Phyrexians are here and you are there.
So we're connected through me to the Phyrexians?
Precisely. You have been the sole conceptual purpose of discovering the Battlefields when the Phyrexians hunted the Four.
Oh, so this is like the map room I made?
Or so your scouts have assembled for us in knowledge. However, we now must use it to infiltrate our very now allied outpost of the original Battlefield's regions we had sworn to protect, but now infect ourselves with.
And are you the Raven?
I am the tactical node of the Raven. I do not create the weapons, but I explain how a weapon of non-existence could potentially aid us in the issues that we may face, in which then the core Raven node will produce, usually using reflexes of the echoes in which you guys have all been through, like a mirror, but pulled from a pool of glass.
So if we accomplish the task that you need us to do here, the Raven will then have all of the data they need to make a weapon of non-existence.
That is incorrect. The Raven has everything we need. We just must not let it fall into the hands of others, like the Cadenza and Nyx, who have many spies within. What we must do is prevent the Phyrexians from finishing their invasion on your home schooling, Strixhaven. Lorraine has been assigned to acquire this key. I can hear any and all passage of communications, mind you. With that, I am revealing to you the 3 targets that you must now destroy and or infiltrate with said key. The 3 Phyrexian nodes and outposts put across the battlefields to shut their reign in Strixhaven down. These 3 satellites will prevent them from progressively incursing until we can reprogram their nodes to redevelop their command to you. You do have the helm, correct?
Yes, I have the helm of the Ori. And the Wanderer's Ori.
And
Then you should soon be able to reset the Phyrexians from one of these 3 locations. The decision is yours on which to travel to, but the 4 are hunting.
And do I have to pick now?
You may communicate with your companions while addressing the map and ask anything of the strategic node. I will be happy to assist. You guys are able to discuss freely. This is the next part of the Matrix.
Okay. So, if we have to shut down one of these nodes, and the Phyrexians are the main thing keeping the 4 away from us, then maybe we shut down the one in the back over here? What do you guys think? Like, I guess we should find out if each one does something different or if they all do the same thing.
Well, I'm seeing like I'm seeing like faint lines where there's these Ford Expo things.
That is correct. These are the 4 patrols in which we are aware of that continuously roam the battlefields, reporting any and all adjusted changes. Imagine the terminology that has been once passed around at the Cadenza Annex as Google Maps, but in the future.
You're seeing 4? I can only see 3.
No, I
The
was
name is the 4.
Oh, sorry.
4 Expo number 263, like right here.
There's 09, 263, and 457 patrolling the battlefields at this time. That is known to the Raven. On top of that, you guys would also know that at no point can anyone freely fly into this middle space without crossing through either one of the Cadenza Annexes passageway or the 4 domains. In order to get there, you have to go through the Cadenza. This is considered the massive break between the fourth plane of existence and the rest of the Loot's creations. That massive gap is such a consumer of all that only the 4 have been able to successfully travel it with minimal loss.
Were we ever told what the Credenza Annex group actually is?
Hope you guys just recently have heard of them.
Yeah, I think the only thing we know about them is that they are actively fighting the 4, which makes sense if they have the portal there.
Um.
So my thoughts is that since there are these fleets monitoring everything, we don't take out the ones closest to the Phyrexian domain, just because they might find a way to beat the Phyrexians if we do it, or even get the
That's
kill
what-
code.
That's what I was thinking. Like both the one at the top of the map and near the center. Yeah, both of these two are very close to those patrols. This one, however, is not.
Although
There
we
is
should,
a bit of distance.
although I think based off of what they look like the actual structures, this one is the biggest and probably the most difficult to do. And these ones are
Right.
smaller and easier to do, but they also have a higher chance of the four learning how to beat them.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking. Basically, we can take out one of the little ones, and the 4 will immediately know that we've taken them out, or we can take the big out the big one, and the 4 won't know for a tiny bit of time.
And there's also the fact that they might become less useful in the war if we take out the big one.
Seg, what is your pirate strategic opinion?
Well, I would really rather even the odds a bit and just go, see what we're up against and fight one of these things, preferably one further away from the others so we can fight it a little longer before backup arrives. Before we decide the best course of action to actually solve our problem.
Well, if we go to one of them, we're picking that one.
That works for me.
I will say this: I definitely do not want to pick this one.
Yeah, that one
This
is.
one is a no-go.
Yeah, I don't think
The
this one's
4 are
viable.
right. Yeah, the 4 are right there.
Plus, even if their fleet wasn't there, they're like the same distance away from their fleet. Like they could monitor us from their own area.
Yeah, I think honestly, if we're going to be using these guys, if we are looking to use these guys, our best option is to take this one.
This one seems like the safest bet, just because it's fairly far away from any of the other 4
Yep.
fleets. The fleets are honestly probably watching Strixhaven more than they're watching this hub.
The only thing is they'll definitely notice something has changed.
Yeah, a lot
Look
sooner
how
than
far
if-
away the fleet is right now. That's
What?
Just look how far away the fleet is right now.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking they're a lot closer to Strixhaven because that's where like a major business is going down and the credenza is nearby. So they're probably a lot less focused on this singular node versus the entire axis over here and Acravos? Arcavios. Yeah, I think they have their hands full watching these ones. My only concern is this one over here that's like near the 4 portal. Those ones could be an issue later. Like they could be watching that specific node.
That's what I was thinking exactly.
'Cause, like, what if we take out this one down here and that's like their main production facility? Great for our war effort, but if we're going to use them later, bad for our resupply.
You guys all hear a... Oh, did I miss it? Oh, God's sakes. I apologize. I'm here. It's Tempos. He is. Your old friend. I would not miss this for the moment, sir. Oh, looks like you're already looking at the awesome map that I made. Wonderful. Are any of you experienced in the helming of a vessel?
I point to my pirate guys.
Show elbows, Seg.
always knew this day would come, buddy.
Commandeer,
It's time to
dude.
conquer space.
Wonderful.
Commandeer.
So if you're going to be the pilots, then we're going to have to talk separately at some point. But otherwise, the rest of you will have to learn your positions too. You guys hear Tempos muttering in the same ominous thing, and then the Raven interjects. Thank you for arriving, even though you have found yourself impeccably behind the monikers in which we had placed previously for you to be here. But I must make it clear to the rest that Tempos has alleviated a special vessel for our use in travel between these nodes in the Bada fields. I must warn you of the time it takes to get to each location is not concerned with the progress of our defense against the Phyrexians, for that will be handled beyond the Matrix. For we are enlisted with hacking the remainder of the Phyrexians' control. Only one node must fall. You may decide. Tempos will teach you all, before your departure, how to handle your vessel. I hope you do not falter, for we only have 2 chances. If you fail once, we can return you. After the second time, you are lost in the battlefields as it is. Is everything clarified in a very surgical manner of clarification?
So if we fail twice, we get ejected from the Matrix and into the battlefields.
We are... Precisely. Yeah, pretty much. You guys are basically forcing your parallel into the battlefields to edit these moments, to do what you need to do. But if you fuck up twice, you are then ejected to where it is you mess up, and that is where you then must survive. Not saying that you're going to be stuck in space, but you'll be somewhere. Hopefully somewhere with a friend.
Cool.
Space pirate, Seg. Space pirate.
Space pirate.
So we should go after this one, I think. I figure no matter which one we hit, the Phyrexi or the 4 are going to learn more about the Phyrexians, and I think this medium base is probably the best one to do. It doesn't give them all the information as it's not directly next to a fleet. It's not their major production facility that we'll need later. So yeah, I think this one.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Seems strategically sound.
so you guys all consider that the voxel
Primaris.
Yeah, the voxel primaris is the choice. Well, I'll take note of that. You guys will have a week to make that decision. I'll put a vote up to give you guys that privilege to go around and pass that idea. With it, I'll also give you guys a little bit more information that has been mined in the sense of data of these locations. We'll go ahead and wrap the session here, and I will situate all the boons you guys got in a proper handout for you guys to go and at least acknowledge what you have. Foundry will have all that stuff built in already for you. I'll try to make sure that I assign them to all your characters before next week without issue. Anyone that gets to choose what skill, you can either put it in the normal chat that we all share, or you can message me directly. Either way, just let me know those choices once you guys see the handout, which will most likely drop tomorrow. And then spaceships. You guys are entering the Spelljammer vibe of D&D. It will not work if you know or have any experience with Spelljammer 100% to the way it exists, as many things have been changing in the way things are with the 2024 rules. And not everything is clear cut. So some of it will be homebrew and are flavored to be purposeful to you guys. It is very rare to have a campaign that is 20 plus with all these crazy special boons and effects somehow still allowing play to go forward and you guys still feel threatened somehow. But here we are. And with it, I intend to push every bit of it. So we will be going into space for a brief time. We will test out some space flight and some space combat and some space stations and some other fun discoveries. And we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't seem to go well or it doesn't seem to fit right, we'll make some brief modifications, cut it short, fix it as it up. It doesn't always fit everyone's, salt and pepper shaker, so it's absolutely respectable. And it is a different vibe when you guys are not able to use a fireball in the middle of space at a spaceship because it's 3,000 feet away.
Guys, space meat.
So, but there will be plenty of awesome discoveries that do exist and have been waiting to be found. So we will get into that, and hopefully it'll be lots of exciting and fun. With it, there will be some things that I do want to put out there. Does anyone have any seizure-like concerns with moving backgrounds during a campaign or during combat or during a session in general? If it's at a reasonable, non-crazy fast speed, is it considered something that can cause epilepsy or harm any of you in any way?